Alright, I want to take a second here to walk you through the build of my Soundproof or sound isolation drum booth. So I recently moved into a townhome and I can no longer play as loud as I want whenever I want, so this was a necessity. It's not the prettiest thing out there, but I'll give you a quick rundown on what it is, how I did it, and how it works. Go look around. So the construction is made out of 2x3s on the walls and ceiling. Then I simply ran fairing strips parallel to the floor, and that's what I actually attached the drywall to. It's a sort of resilient channel. It's not a high quality one, but it definitely helps to keep the vibration transfer from going through. All of the walls, including the ceiling and the floor, have Roxul Safe and Sound in them. The floor has a couple layers of carpet pad and a couple layers of carpet. I thought about doing a floating floor. I probably should have. It might have helped with some of the low end transfer. Inside, I tried to keep the echo down as much as possible. It is a very small booth. I used some generic sound isolation foam or some just to help with some of the bounce. Didn't do a whole lot, but it did help to deaden it up inside the room. The doorway, I actually made a number of different abilities. That was our biggest leak of sound. So I have some pretty thick weather stripping, and there's actually 3 channels on which the sound has to get caught. And I'm actually still playing around with that a little bit. I'm not 100% satisfied with its ability to keep the sound in. But just to run you through some numbers, on the inside when I play, I hit about 120 decibels peak, probably about 110, 115 on average, directly outside the room. I use my dB meter and set it up right over here, and I was getting, I believe I had that about 65 to 75 on average. I was then seeing peaks of about 80. Then outside, so that's directly outside here, right on my patio, I was seeing about 45 to 55 on average, 60 being peak. It was about 45 passive out there. Casual conversation would bring me into the upper 50s. And then 2 doors inside, so I go inside and then I go into a bedroom. It was completely undetectable by my dB meter and by my iPads recording my dB meter. So you couldn't hear it at all based on those instruments. I'm sure if there was a person in there, they might have been able to hear it a slight bit. So I haven't gotten any complaints from my neighbors. And I'll continue to work on it. I'm not comfortable yet playing it super late at night, but I think with this next layer, I'm gonna work on adding some fabric or felt up here to help just add another layer of soundproof, and that pretty much does it. So the interior dimensions are it's 7 feet by 6 feet by 7 foot high. I wanted to make sure I had enough ability to stand and get around. It's obviously not large, but there are definitely smaller ones out there. I made it about as big as I physically could to fit it inside the room. Fortunately, I did have these sliding doors, so I was able to open those to help with some of the construction, but it still took some creativity in getting it constructed inside this small area. So, any questions, don't hesitate to leave them in the comments. I will probably do an update video. I'm trying to get it down to outside being undetectable, and I will play around a little bit more with that. Thank you.